Hey guys, I just want to do a quick video for today on the blog post, specifically directed at those of you that are doing the whole life challenge. I just had a few points I wanted to go over really quickly. The first of which was just to say, hey, congratulations on getting going with that. And we're 10 days in, and I hope you guys are doing good and already noticing some changes in the way that you feel and maybe even the way that you look, and stay with it. The second thing I wanted to address, and this is something I kind of wanted to address when we did the baseline at the gym, but it was difficult because people straggled in at different times and stuff. But was to really just balance the challenge with a couple things that I want some of you guys to understand. Um, Number one is, particularly for people that are playing at the performance level, a lot of those people are vets and they kind of know what that means, which is great. There may be people that have less experience with whole foods concept and paleo and all kinds of other words that we could use around that, that are playing the performance level, and that can be very difficult for those people. There are great things about playing at that level for both veterans and new people, and people can get great experiences out of that. However, for a lot of people, you have to understand the limitations of that. And, a lot of folks are kind of at different times on sort of a sugar and carbohydrate drip. And when you go from a lot of carbohydrate in your diet, let's say, oh, I don't know, over 200, 250 grams. I think the average American has 3 to 500 based on the processed foods they eat. And you do something like play at the performance level here, that can really sort of be dramatic or have a dramatic effect on people. And we get into this mentality of sort of deprivation and something that is maybe not the most sustainable. So while people can have great results doing the 56-day challenge, there's certainly a big adjustment for them to go through. And then sometimes when they come out the other end, it was such a deprivation mindset that we kind of swing back hard to where we were. And the limitations of that is that effectively, and if that's kind of how it plays out, that you get put on another diet. And a lot of clients and people in general don't need another diet. They need something that's sustainable and produces longevity over time. So please know that there are other ways to approach this, more incremental ways that coming out the back end of the challenge might be a lot more appropriate for you and that you might have better success with, because we really want those small changes over time, not a 56-day period of deprivation followed by a wild swing back the other way or however. So there's just some inherent limitations to that, but I know that the game is motivating, and that's why we play, because people can motivate around that. Also, what was the other thing I wanted to say? Oh, those of you that are playing at the performance level and simultaneously exercising hard, especially with intensity, especially conditioning wise, you have to understand that there's a little bit of a conundrum between titrating your carbs way down, and which is probably effectively what's going to happen to you based on where you were, and then trying to do really intense exercise. Somebody should tell you that those two don't really match well, and there are better ways to pair an exercise program with a fairly low carbohydrate intake, say somewhere between 100 to 150 grams a day, something like that. So you may have to adjust your expectations if you're coming into the gym and trying to train with intensity 3 days a week and wondering why you just don't have it. There are some contradictions there, and I can talk to you more about that if you want, but you just have to understand that a better pairing would be only lifting and really low intensity metabolic stuff while you're bringing your carbs down. And if you're an athlete or you're demanding that you train very intensely, then that simply requires more carbohydrate, and it may not be in line with the division that you chose to play in the challenge. So it's just important that you understand that. And then the last thing is, we just got a new book in the gym. This is the Primal Blueprint by Mark Sisson. I'm about 120 pages into it, but I've been a fan of Mark for a long time, and it's really awesome. So I just wanted to recommend for a lot of you that you pair a book with this challenge. If you have not read the Primal Blueprint, I really love Mark's approach. It's different than Rob's or the Hartwig's in the other two books that we carry, but those books would be great to read Also, if you haven't read either one of those, either Pairing the Challenge with the Paleo Challenge or the Paleo Diet by Rob Wolf, or It Starts with Food by the Hartwigs. All three books have a different approach. They all have excellent information. And I think that when you delve a little deeper into this concept of whole food and also sustainable, balanced lifestyle, that you have greater success long term. We get a little more engagement from the client and a little more learning on the part of the client. I think you guys are more likely to continue this path as the months and years pass. So I really recommend picking one of those up, and I hope that's useful for you. So that's it, guys. 10 days in, you guys are doing great, and we'll see you out there. Okay, bye.